Kane Pixels, a name you most likely recognize. And if you don't recognize his name, you'll probably recognize some of his projects. His most popular projects consisting of the Backrooms and The Oldest View. But this video isn't about those series. This video is about Kane Pixels' newest series, People Still Live Here. Hello my polygonal friends. Today, I'm going to be checking out People Still Live Here by Kane Pixels. Go check out the series after the video is done. With that all out of the way, grab a seat, your drink of choice, and enjoy the madness. The first video is odd to say the least. The video is only 1 minute and 35 seconds long. This video contains a lot of weird imagery like felt items, the inside of a machine, an animatronic, and this guy laying on the floor.
I've fallen and I can't get up!
It is hard to piece together what this all means at first, but there is one thing here that can give us better insight on the story. At the end of the video, there is this weird beeping noise. This is actually Morse code sped up. And when you slow it down and decipher it, you get this message. And now my body has become one with a faraway land. I am the meadow and the sky all around. You work on the land, and so you work for the land. And in return, the land accepts you. You may think your work is finite and conclusive when the time comes to depart, but the land will always remember what you gave to it. And in time, you and your work will live on through the land. And that is all for video 1. On to the next one. The second video starts off with the logo of the people who made this game, Marathon 8 Software Inc. It then gives us this interesting intro before the game starts. It tells us about how this game is based off of events that were experienced and documented by someone named Clifton J. Saywell in 1934 through 1946. We then get an in-memory card for Saywell. After starting a new save file, this dialogue plays out. We then see our player walking around in this swamp. They then go over to Shrek's swamp house.
Hey, Magic Mirror, who's the fairest of them all?
Why, Shrek, of course.
You sicken me.
Where they find this staircase leading down to this door. When opening the door, they find a Backrooms level, bro. Look at this. They go to the door at the end of the hallway, where this happens. We are tasked with finding 3 items. We must find these items before sunset. a wampum, a watch, and a compressor. Our player then starts walking around, finding a windmill with these Dr. Seuss looking things behind it. Then, the player finds the clock on a picnic towel. Our player then spots this yellow house in the distance and goes over to it. When the player enters the house, they find this. It seems to be a map of something.
What?
After leaving the house, our player once again spots something in the distance. Going over to it, our player finds a mountain and the second item, the wampum. Okay, now you might be wondering what a wampum is. It is a traditional shell bead used by the eastern woodland tribes of Native Americans. This might be important, so remember it.
We do not care.
After continuing to walk around, our player finds the structure from the map. A bunch of yellow and blue... I don't know what these are, bro. Moon Knight's one item from Marvel Rivals. Following the direction from the map, our player goes in a specific line that points them to their next destination. Once arriving, they find an office building. Is that Microsoft HQ, bro? Tell them to release the new Minecraft update.
Tell them to bring out the lobster. Yes, sir. Tell them to bring out the lobster. All right, look at these babies. Tell them to bring out the lobster.
The front entrance is gated up, so our player has to find another way of getting in. Our player gets in and makes their way over to the door. When they enter, it is strange. It is an office building, but some of the furniture has no collision. Doors will lag when you try and go in them. And, weirdest of all, is when you pull this lever and find this.
Oh, thank goodness. Finally, someone has opened the door. I've been stuck in this room forever. The shepherd's not mad, is he? I was just trying to look at the computers to see where my favorite people were moved to. It's been a long time since I've read computer works, though, so I can't figure out how to get their location out of the machine. I think it's time for me to go home. Thank you for opening this door.
After talking to this random guy, our player finds the last item and is tasked with returning home. Once exiting the building, the tech guy is calling us over to him.
Hey! Hey, you! Over here! Hey! You're not going to tell anyone I was here, are you? I mean, you're technically allowed to. But I would really appreciate it if you didn't. I don't want people to think I'm spying on their thoughts. I wouldn't do that. It is important to respect.
After seeing a real-time kidnapping, our player starts making their way home, but it is starting to turn nighttime. That was a close one. And that is it for video 2. No concrete answers from this one, but we do get more info on this world. And we do get more knowledge on the meadow. Anyways, on to video 3. The third video is very interesting. It is only 35 seconds long, so I'll play it all for you. We see a real-life version of the People Still Live Here game, with one of the railroad crossing creatures waking up. This place kind of looks similar to the place we saw at the end of Saywell, but other than that, there isn't really much more to gather from this video yet. Anyways, on to the next one. The fourth video starts immediately on day 2 of the People Still Live Here game. For this day, we are tasked with finding a feather, a sundial, and a bowling ball. Odd assortment of items, but I guess that also goes for day 1.
I got the wrong sandwich. I don't want that shit.
Our player starts walking around before finding a well. It has 2 shoes next to it, oddly. Somebody check down there, bro. I think little Jimmy fell down the well, bro. Our player notices a hot air balloon and starts walking towards it, finding this guy.
Bad news, buddy. These are my last balloons. I'm gonna have to keep them to myself. Say, you wouldn't happen to know Anne the painter, would you? I'm her biggest fan, but she won't let me have any of her paintings because she's mad about the color of my balloons. Tell you what. If you can get me one of her paintings, I'll call my fire balloon down and you can have whatever's inside. Sound like a deal?
We then see our player make their way over to this barn in the distance, most likely where the painter is. Once getting there, the player finds these weird structures. Man, solar panels have gone wild in 2025, bro. What is this? Our player enters the barn to find this person playing a guitar, or a banjo, or I don't know, the saxophone. I'm gonna call this person the Scarecrow, even though there's like a 70% chance this isn't a scarecrow.
No, I don't think I will.
Our player interacts with this hay bale in the middle of the barn, where it starts a normal game of Minesweeper. After playing for a while, our player gets the sundial. Then they leave the barn and keep moving forward. Eventually, they find this sign that points them in the direction of a garden spire. Our player goes to the garden spire, passing all of these gazebos or whatever these things are. Our player then finally makes it to the painter.
Goodness, look at you intruding upon my personal space. Can't you see I'm in the middle of an illustration? No matter. I've been struggling to complete this piece for a long while. Could it be that you're the assistant the shepherd promised me?
The painter mentions a person named the Shepherd, and she asks us to finish a portion of her painting. Once finishing it, the painter rewards us by telling us to pick out any of her paintings to take. We go over to grab one of the paintings, and our player finds the feather. And then the player picks out a painting. But before leaving, they find this trap door that leads down to this sewer area. Our player investigates and hears these weird sounds in the sewers. Our player notices it is turning nighttime and leaves. They try making their way over to the Balloon Man, but a warning pops up on the screen that says, "The Shepherd is coming." Our player is nearly to the Balloon Man, but then they hear something. Our player decides to forget about the Balloon Man and just starts running as fast as they can home. The shepherd's literally right behind them too. They actually made it, wow. Although they didn't collect the bowling ball. We get introduced to more characters this video, including the shepherd and more humans.
The shepherd's not mad, is he? I was just trying to look at the computers to see where my favorite people were moved to.
But other than that, that is the end of video 4. On to the last video at the time of writing. The 5th video is only 18 seconds long, so I'll play it for you right now. This video is very similar to Graveyard. It is the more realistic world of people still live here. We hear a train in the distance in the last few seconds of this video, but that's not all, because in the description of this video, we see this. Video taken
sometime between April 2023 and September 2024. Context. Previously unimpacted individual is granted natural passage to Meadow Outland Steps, uncertain locality, via derelict structure in Northern California, USA. Additional footage was found along this 18-second clip and is currently being reviewed for potential release.
And that is where the series stands as of now. So here is what I think the series means. Throughout the series, we get mentions of this person named Saywell. Saywell is the title. I wrote tile instead of title in the script. Saywell is the title of the first video. His name shows up in the second one. And throughout the series, these are apparently events experienced by Saywell. So, here's my theory. In episode 1, we see the death of Saywell. He dies by the hands of this animatronic. The animatronic's really not that important, I guess. I don't know. Then, he wakes up in the meadow. We can also get confirmation that Saywell died here because of the Morse code at the end that says, "And now my body has become one with a faraway land." Then, we see more footage of the meadows in Graveyard and Sunshine. But I don't believe the footage we see in Graveyard and Sunshine is from Saywell. That is because the description of video 5 says that the footage was taken sometime between April 2023 and September 2024, even though Saywell's experiences took place between 1934 and 1946. So, I finally believe that the Meadows is this in-between realm from life and death. Okay, editing Sam here. After looking back at the description of Sunshine, it describes an individual who is granted natural passage to the meadows. So maybe it isn't dying that gets you there, but maybe something more spiritual. I don't know. Thank you all for participating in today's video. I hope you liked it. Check out People Still Live Here by Kane Pixels. It will probably be getting another installment in the near future. Subscribe to Kane Pixels. His channel is linked in the description down below. And consider giving me a subscribe too. I'd really appreciate it. But with that all out of the way, I've been Sam, and I'll see you guys soon with my next video. Peace.
You are nice, you are pretty, you are smart, you are my friend.